Going back to 2016, the Atlanta Falcons took a historic offense on the way to a Super Bowl run. That historic offense, though, took some time to learn. It was year 2 of Kyle Shanahan's offensive system. Nearly 10 years later, enter Zach Robinson's offense.
Everybody's different, and that's going to be hopefully where we can all get to a point. We're going to break for the summer. Those guys are going to, go off on their own, still study and still work out and be ready. And then hopefully once we hit training camp, we hit the ground running. These guys, we're just preaching, just play fast, no matter what, play fast.
Robinson, like the rest of the offense, is learning things himself as a first-time offensive coordinator. But one thing that's made the transition easier is having a veteran quarterback.
Kirk has already mastered the system, and so there's definitely, with each player it's different, but I know from a quarterback standpoint, that second year in the system, you definitely feel pretty good.
On the defensive side, Jimmy Lake has experience as a defensive coordinator and even a head coach. His philosophy is to keep things simple, so that learning curve may not cause as many growing pains.
The time frame will be a lot faster than that. The guys are already really caught up to speed, and a lot of that work comes from the coaches. We got to make sure we're making these things so it's going to be very complicated to our opponent, but easy for our players to digest.
Hey, look, what's easier for you guys? And when you tell us, we'll adopt that for you. But a lot of times, guys, when you got a new staff, you're kind of afraid. And that's the good thing that, having Jesse, AJ, Mike, and all those guys who've been here from last year, they're not afraid to ask questions. And I think that's what makes the young guys even better. Like, okay, if they're asking questions, I can do the same thing.
One thing Zach Robinson also mentioned about learning a new offensive system, he knows firsthand how hard it can be being a former quarterback himself. That's why he says having a guy like Michael Penix Jr., a young guy, sit and learn for potentially a year or two can make that learning curve not as complicated. At Flowery Branch, Miles Garrett, Fox 5 Sports.